Alright, I'm back with my second video on VMware, and I think I figured out a couple things I had to change in order to get my virtual machine installed. So let's take a look at that and see how it goes. So as you can see, it's the same screen. I have not configured anything. It's all the defaults still, and license still 60 days. But here you can see I have one virtual machine already installed. So I want to go through that again and install that another virtual machine of the same thing to show you what I had to change or what I had to do differently in order to actually install it on it without getting all those errors, because I have obviously no clue what those were. But then I started looking into this a little more, and I think I got it figured out as far as installing virtual machine. And again, this is just the VMware EXSi installed on a bare metal machine. This is the only VMware piece of software that I have on that hard drive, so I haven't done anything else. This is just a very basic EXSi installation here. So let's go ahead and create another virtual machine and I'll just call it May2, and again, you know, select the same thing here as before. So that's still the same. Obviously it depends on what you're installing. I already have the 64-bit downloaded, so that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to hit next. The data store is the same hard drive, so I'm just going to click on next. And here I'm still getting this particular error, so I just delete that. Let's see. And for some reason, as you can see here, I'm not getting anything. Sometimes if I reload it, it'll kick me back out and I come back in. It may be, everything might be here, but there's still an issue going on here now. And then I don't know why that keeps popping up, but what I want to do here now, it's a couple of things. My machine doesn't have a CD-ROM drive, and that's why it doesn't pop up here, which is something I need to add. CD drive, we'll add it from here, and it should be in here now. And what this allows me to do is now I'm able to either use the CD-ROM or the ISO file, which is what I want. Now once you click on that, here's the other piece of software from the data from the VMware. This is the part that I'm not too crazy about, because basically you see my Ubuntu made here, you have to upload it or copy it onto the hard drive here, or your ESXi hard drive. So you have to load it from wherever you have it, and you have to bring it in first. I'm not crazy about that. I just want to point to it without having to do that, but it is what it is. So you have to, after you do that, it brings it in, you click on it, then you select it, and that's how you select the file you want to use, which should have been there the whole time. Assuming you have a CD-ROM, you'll see that, but since I didn't, my computer doesn't have one, that's why it didn't even bring this or put this on there automatically. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I want to change that to 40 gigs, and then there's another thing I want to change here, which is the SCSI. Unfortunately, I can't choose it right now, and let me see if I can do it here. Well, it's not showing it to me, but I have to change it from LSI to virtual, I forget what the name was, which is in here. So I'm going to see if it'll let me go. The other thing is you want to make sure you go into the BIOS. It's already set as a default, but for some reason it didn't go on the first time. So I'm just gonna leave it, and if it doesn't work, I'll just reload it, come back in, and you'll see that it'll show you all that information there. So yeah, there's some kind of quirk going on with this thing, and it has nothing to do with my computer or the installation. Is just what that is. So I'm gonna go ahead and click next, and before that, let me see if I go back and see if it'll load it. Okay, still doing this number here, and nope, it's not letting me choose it, so I'll go ahead and finish, and it's not letting me do it. So I'm going to reload and go back in there and see if it'll let me do it. And this is the weird thing that I don't like. Every time you have to change something, it kicks you back out. So now I had to start over, but let me go ahead and do that. Sometimes it takes it, sometimes it doesn't, for whatever reason. So I'm hoping it'll take it this time, because yeah, this gets pretty old if you have to keep doing it. So I'm not liking that, but it is what it is. Let's see here. Here we go. Okay, so we got LSI logic parallel. So I'm going to change that first to VMware per virtual. If not, I'm going to get the errors. So let me see what else I need here. Let me change that to 40. So see, as you can see, you see everything here now. Hey, I can even do my CPU because I have a dual core. So as you can see, all the options are there, which is cool. But then even here, you got 2 and 3. I'm just gonna leave that at the default. Oh, this is the other one. The other setting that I want to change, which is auto detect. I don't want to specify anything custom. Just leave it at that. And then I still have to add the CD-ROM for my computer here, and so that I can go ahead and choose my ISO file, because once you click on here, it goes to that, and if you go back, you'll see that it may not even show the stuff again. Well, it's still showing it, but sometimes it doesn't, and it's just weird. So now that everything looks good, I'm just gonna go ahead and click next. So again, virtual VMware per virtual, I had to change that. ISO, the CD-ROM, and detect automatic settings. And usually, and this should take care of it. There it is, completed successfully. As you can see, there's 2 now. So now we can just go ahead and choose it, run it to get it installed, and voila, check it out. Now I'm finally installing Ubuntu Mate. It's just one of the distros that I chose to test with. It's one of their latest one, but whichever machine, it shouldn't matter. You can test it with anything really. But I just wanted to run this a second time so that you can see that it is installing after I did that. So there's no other weird configuration that you have to do in order to get the virtual machines installed. Of course, now after that, you have to go ahead and configure the server to your specific environment or test lab or whatever it is. And then that's pretty much it as far as installing virtual machines, which is cool. But you can see that there are still some hiccups going around on the initial installation or starting the VMware virtual machines. Why that is, it's the software that has nothing to do with the installation, because that it's working. We'll just take the default. Sure. And even though this is going to take a little bit of time, I'm just going to let it go through for the completeness of the video, just to show it to you. I could stop it, but I'm just going to let it go, and you can always fast forward the video later. That way it's just one single video and I don't have to keep stitching videos here, so that you can see the whole process if you really want to. But that was the main thing, and as you can see here, this is the other weirdness here. It doesn't actually fit quite right, so I'll just go ahead and maximize this. But still, you still can't see it. So let me try something, and this is not working, whatever that is. So let me go back down here, because from what I remember, it was just this window here. It's just weird the way it does it, but that's what it is. So let's see if I can figure this going here. So this still needs some work here, because yeah, it's kind of weird. And let me see, even when I make it large, it just still cut off in a weird way. I know they have their own, not drivers I think, or tools or whatever, but it's not installed, so this is what you have. So let's see, let's call it this May 2, and then I'll just put a name. Well, this is just for testing, so we'll leave it at that. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I guess it's supposed to go back, but yeah, that button on the top doesn't work or do anything, so that's that. So I'm just gonna use that. I kept thinking this is the bar, but it's up here. And we'll let it go through. And another thing, so let me show you what's going on here as far as the little icons here. So this is full screen. This is minimize. When you minimize it, it comes right down here. So if I do shrink, it comes down here. It's just sort of these weird settings. Let me see if I can go back now. Oh, that was close. Shrink, minimize. Yeah, okay, it's the same one. I don't want to shrink because it takes it here, and I can get to the actual button, so we'll leave it at that. I just remember when I click on one of these, it automatically just made it into this little window here, or it just completely took it off. Oh, I think it if I click the X, it does it, but let's see. Yep, there you go. When you close it, then you're just left with that window, which is fine. So let's wait and see what else happens here. It should go straight through. So as far as installing VMs, I think this one's a little more, I don't know, fuzzy than my Zen server. It's just you gotta make all these changes, because I think on the Zen server I don't have to worry about that CD-ROM not being in there. It automatically gives you the option, even though mine doesn't have it. That's just one example of that. But as you can see, that's pretty much it on that front. So I'll let the installation finish, and hopefully it won't be too long, but I just want to make sure I catch all this, because since I just started installing anything on the EXSi, which is my new tongue twister there, It's kind of cool once you figure out your issue or whatever problem you may run into as far as your hardware. And again, every hardware is going to be different, but for the most part the installation is pretty straightforward as far as the server itself, or the EXSi, which is pretty cool. Now let me see if there's anything else I wanted to show you while this is going here. Settings. So yeah, let me show you those settings, I guess. Let me minimize this. So you got a couple more checks that you can do here. Enable visual effects, send usage statistics, show only recent objects. Then you get your language. Console, I'm not sure what that is yet. Then you have the application timeout. I'm not sure if it's for the whole login aspect of it, but I think that might be it. Reset to default, so that's that. And what do we got in the help? About version 1.8. So that's that. Hey, there's an update icon here. That's cool. I'm not gonna click any of this yet because I don't know what it's gonna do, and I want the virtual machine to finish so that I can show you that it actually works. More command tools, more console, Gevi, center server. All right, these are the, I think, the other piece of software that you can use with it. I haven't looked at it yet, but okay, that's what that menu or those menus are. And if you right click on the actual VM, you can actually get the other menus here too. Guess there we go. That's what I was looking for before. Install VMware tools. I'm not sure if they have them for everything, but that's where that is. Snapshots. Let me see what we got. Take, restore, manage, consolidate. Then we got the console. And I'll see if I can look at this later on and see what it does, but I'm not going to cover that on here. And there's a lot of there are other videos on VMware Online that you can check out for all of these parts of the options here. There are other people that have used this a lot more than I have, so definitely check their videos out. So that's that. I think those are the same ones here. Yep. If I right click on it, yep. Or yeah, that's the same thing. So that's that. So far it looks pretty straightforward as far as the install and what you normally get. Here we have the performance. I don't have anything there. Events. Got some tasks, excuse me. It's getting late, so that's why I'm starting to get sleepy. But we'll finish this up. And so there we go. Let's take a look. It's downloading something. Let's see here. Well, it's downloading the language packs, which I guess I should have left out. I didn't think they were going to be that big. Let's see what happens, because I'm looking at the timer for the recorder here and I'm already at 20 minutes, so I do apologize for making it this long. It was not intended to be this long, but it is what it is. So I'm hoping it goes a little faster from here now. And yeah, watching a video without any audio, it would really suck, but well, I guess you can experience what those in IT experience a lot. If you install a lot of systems, this is what you get. You get to sit, or not sit, but you get to sit and wait, or wait for a lot of this installation screens to go by before you can move on to something else, like the configuration of a program or whatever the case may be. And yeah, it gets done day in and day out. And if you don't have the patience for that, you're definitely in the wrong business. But then again, what doesn't need a little bit of patience nowadays? Well, everything does, but you also have to like what you do, so there you go. And normally I would just leave this running and go to sleep and wake up in the morning and finish it up or something like that, but since I'm making the video, I need to make sure it records, so hopefully it'll come through, because I noticed it was stopping before, but I'm not sure if it was because this other software I was using for something else that I was trying to record. But so I'm hoping everything's going to come through okay without any problems, other than the long video. So I do apologize for that again, and I'll keep this in mind and make sure I'll stop it from now on, whatever I'm making, and then just stitch them, because I think it might be faster if I do that than waiting for something to just install. But like I said, welcome to my world. This is what we do, and this is whether I do it at home or an actual job, this is what a lot of people do in their daily work. We have to sit through a lot of this screens and wait for things to load, and it doesn't just magically happen. So but then again, I guess all good things take time. And yes, I'm trying to fill in the actual time here, because unfortunately, I don't have any jokes for you guys. I wish I did, but I'm not sure I'm that funny that way. You do have to have a sense of humor, though, that's for sure. Because when things kick the bucket, yeah, you're not going to hear the end of it. I don't know, I guess I could try and talk a little more. I'm kind of liking the fact that my actual sound works versus my previous videos where I was barely making any noise, because for whatever reason the software wasn't working too well. And now I can talk all I want and record as much as I want, but no, I don't want to do that. I'm trying to keep focus here. My eyes are starting to close a little bit, and I keep seeing that timer go higher and higher, and I'm just hoping it'll slow down. But I think we're getting there. Yay! Okay, so now I can restart it. Let's do it as fast as we can. And this is the part that was kind of weird too. Okay, maybe it took a while, but let me get out of this and see if it'll restart. Okay, this time. Please remove the installation and then press enter. Okay, I'm just gonna say okay because I haven't done anything. So let's see if it's gonna start to install again or the actual program. Normally just starts the program once you install it, but I don't know. Let's see if that's like, yeah, I didn't have to change anything on the first one either, so let's see what happens. Yep, it's going fine. I don't have to tell the CD that not to use that or whatever, but here you go, May 2, and then oops, let me go back. Where is it? Oh, May 1, May 2. That's my second one right now. Let me see if this works. When I click on here, it doesn't show it to you, but it is there. So yay, we got through. And take a look at that. It's beautiful. I don't know, every time I maximize it, it still looks kind of weird. But I think those may be the tools. And see, this thing doesn't work up here, so yeah, it is what it is. But we got a new virtual machine set up, even though it still doesn't show up too well either. Come on. Alright, we'll just close it. No, don't open it again. And there you go. There's even a software update, which I'm not going to do, but I'm just going to shut it down. Escape. And this also takes a little while to turn off. But there you go, it's completely done. It's off, and there you go, there you have it. This is my virtual machine, 2 of them set up tonight, and they both work. So that's how you set those up if you're having problems like I did. I hope that helps.